Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Katherine and today I want to talk about how I did during November language challenge. You probably know that I did 50 hours in 30 days challenge that I kind of created for myself, inspired by NaNoWriMo. I have a few videos, I also have vlogs that I can leave down below, and yeah, let's talk about how I did. So you probably should grab a cup of tea or coffee and make yourself comfortable. And as you can see in the background, I already have my Christmas lights on and I am in a full Christmas mode because it's actually very snowy and it looks like a wonderland outside. It's minus 14 Celsius and it feels like minus 18. So yeah, it just makes me want to bundle up and grab a cup of coffee or tea for myself. And yeah, let's just talk about languages a little bit. So overall, November was the most productive month this year, and I'm really happy that I did the 50 hours 30 days challenge. And even though I didn't quite reach 50 hours, I still spent a lot more time than usual. I also realized a few things, for example, that I don't want to actively learn German anymore, that it doesn't bring me much joy anymore, and I also have a video where I talk about that. And then I also realized a few things about learning, because when you learn something, when you learn languages, you also learn about learning and what works for you and what doesn't. And I realized which materials I want to use more, which materials I don't want to use as much. I started using Memrise a lot more and I absolutely love it. And then there are a few apps that I used actively before but didn't use as much in November, and that is totally okay. Like, you learn about learning and that is absolutely great. Overall, I spent 38 hours on language learning, which I think is not that bad compared to other months where I didn't do nothing. And in September, I did about 30 hours, which felt like a lot, and now 38 hours, it's just so much. And yeah, you will see why, and probably from my vlogs you also know why I spend so much time. But yeah, my main goal was to learn each language for 10 hours, and that would bring us to 40 hours, but obviously I didn't do that. So let's go through each language and see how I did, and I think I will go from lowest to highest and tell you what I did, what I didn't, what I learned, and what I want to do next. So it probably wouldn't be a surprise that German is my lowest. So I spent 2 hours and 10 minutes over the 4 days at the beginning of November, and I actually only listened to music and to some podcasts and some shows in German. And so I think I listened to Easy German, like a few episodes of that, and then I also listened to some worship music in German, which I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would, because I actually could understand what they are singing, because sometimes when I listen to worship music in Spanish or Italian, I just don't understand most things, but in German I understood a lot and it was very great time. And then I also watched a few Fixie show episodes. It's called The Fixies. I am pretty sure if you have little brothers or sisters, or you have kids, you probably know the show. I know it's a little bit lame, but I absolutely loved it. The next language is Spanish. I spent 7 hours and 5 minutes over 9 days, which I think is not bad. And yeah, keep in mind that obviously I did multiple languages in one day, so I learned a lot of new vocabulary in Spanish. I also read a book in Spanish, not an entire book. I read for 30 minutes and it was like 10 pages. So I started reading I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. I don't remember the name of the author, unfortunately, and I think I read like 10 pages and my brain was just like dying, but I think I should buy a book in Spanish in a physical format. It's gonna be a lot easier for me than reading off of my phone screen. And then I also kind of wrote 3 essays. I wrote one essay completely, and then one essay I was like rewriting it in a beautiful format, and then I wrote another essay, but I still haven't edited it fully. Like, I started editing it, but I did not complete writing the essay from start to finish, if it makes sense. And then I also reviewed a lot of vocabulary that I already know, and I did a few YouTube videos where I was just like writing different sentences and different like vocabulary that I didn't know, and that was very, very helpful, and I actually really enjoyed it. And moving forward, I think I should speak more because I spent 0 minutes speaking Spanish. I don't have a tutor, and the only 2 people who I know who live in my town who speak Spanish, I never speak Spanish to them because I am way too shy to tell them that I am learning Spanish, and when they speak, I understand like 5 words, but either way, I haven't met them for a while now because we were in lockdown, and yeah, like we didn't have church meetings, so I just didn't even meet them. So I think moving forward I should definitely speak Spanish, even with myself, and then also listen to Spanish music, Spanish YouTubers, anything, maybe even like Spanish podcasts, maybe Spanish audiobook, I don't know, but just like comprehension and speaking skills. The next language is Italian, and I spend 9 hours and 25 minutes on Italian in November, and I learned Italian for 12 days, and I actually listened to a lot of music. I think it was around 3 hours, and I just absolutely love Italian music. I listen to it while I cook, and I just absolutely love it. And yeah, it's just so melodic and so beautiful and just calms me down. Whereas, like Spanish music is so fast and enthusiastic, and I used it when I was working out, but like Italian, it's just for like chilling and for relaxing and for like, I don't know, like slow dancing and like romantic. It's so romantic and so beautiful. And then I also spend a lot of time on Memrise. I went back to Memrise. I have been using it for a little bit here and there, but in November I actually used Memrise for like 2 hours. I was constantly reviewing and learning new topics and new vocabulary, and it is just such a great tool. I highly, highly recommend it, and I will be using it in the future as well. And I just really, really love it. I love how you can review the vocabulary, then you can write it in your notebook, and there is like a bird, the tiny, tiny, beautiful winter bird on my balcony right now. Oh my gosh, like, the one with the like red chest. It is so cute. Anyway, I love Memrise because you can, there is not just the vocabulary, but there is also like phrases, mostly like phrases that you can use in daily life, where like compared to Duolingo, in Memrise you actually learn things that you would use when you go to Italy or speak to Italian person, when like in Duolingo is like, I've lost my penguin, or how many elephants do you own? Who really needs that, But in Memrise it's very realistic and very, very, it's just very good. So if you haven't tried it, go check it out. They have a lot of languages, and this is not sponsored by them anyway. I just love it. And then I obviously did a little bit of my textbook, not much, I think like 1 or 2 hours, and I actually really enjoyed the textbook, but I find that I enjoy Memrise and other websites and just like watching YouTube maybe and listening to music a lot more. And yeah, the same goes for Italian that in the future I should definitely speak a lot more, and I think one of the ways to speak more in your target language is to make videos in that language. So I might film a day in the life. I might try it in Spanish and Italian, and so comment down below if you want to see that. I have that in mind, but if you don't want to see that, I won't do that. So yeah, let me know. I think it would be such a great practice for me, and you know, like speaking Spanish, Italian, and maybe even Lithuanian. Maybe you want to see like what I eat in a day or something like that. So I can definitely make that, and that way I can also show you how well I speak the languages, or how bad. Really, Spanish and Italian is like bad. But yeah, I think I also want to watch more YouTube videos, even maybe movies next year. I had a plan and like goals to watch movies this year, but that didn't really happen. I don't understand Italian that well to watch movies. I did watch a few episodes on LingoPie in September, I think, but that wasn't much, and I didn't understand much. So I think I would stick to YouTube videos, maybe day in the lives, stuff like that, like vlogs, realistic daily vlogs. So if you know any good YouTubers, please let me know. I am open for recommendations. And the last one is Lithuanian, and I spent 19 hours and 30 minutes in 14 days, and I'm actually shocked that I did that, because there were months where I studied Spanish, German, Italian, but like didn't touch Lithuanian at all. And this month I am just very surprised, but also I think this number is very high because of the movies and like because of the activities that I did. So in November I reread It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. In Lithuanian it's called Mes Deda Mitashka, and I probably butchered that so much. But yeah, I just absolutely loved this book. And then I also watched like 6 movies. I think I watched 4 of those movies completely, and then 2 of those movies I didn't finish, but I only counted the time that I spent watching the movie. For example, if the movie was 2 hours but I didn't like the movie and I only watched it for 30 minutes, then I only counted the 30 minutes that I watch the movie and not the entire movie. I hope it makes sense. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I think I watched that many movies because I was in a Christmassy mood, and I was kind of desperate that I wouldn't meet my 50 hours goal, which I didn't, but you know, I really tried. And I think watching movies and reading books actually really helps to boost that time you spend learning languages, which by any means is like quality is more important than quantity. But if you want to spend more time, which is not a bad thing, you know, you will still be learning either actively or passively. So if you want to boost that time, definitely try watching movies and reading something in your target language. That is a great method to spend more time with your target languages. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you want me to make these kinds of videos every month where I recap the amount of time and what I did during the month learning those languages. And I actually think it's very useful for me, because when I was writing down what I did and what I didn't and what I want to do in the future, I actually realized that I did a lot more than I thought I did. And right now, like this month in December, I actually feel like I'm not making any progress. But when I was writing down what things I did in November, I realized that I did so much and that I'm actually moving forward and not just staying in one place. So I will be doing that in my notebook. But if you want me to make these kinds of videos, then let me know. I will definitely be glad to do them. And yeah, just don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye!